Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Ultra Instinct Tarot. How is it going, Gemini? My name is Andres, and I'll be the one taking care of you for this reading. Okay, so as I picked up this deck, the chariot kind of said hi. I kind of took a little peek. Kind of popped up on my radar, and I guess it's just reminding me of ooh, this one wants to come out. Of how I explain the chariot, and that's when you're walking two dogs. It's really difficult to be moving forward when one dog wants to go this way and the other dog wants to go that way. But when both dogs start walk in the same direction, wow, you go so fast. They start pulling on you, and both of them are charging forward. So, charging forward. What are we charging forward to? Wow. And it's the 10 of Pentacles. Literally everything you could ever want. Everything you could ever wish for. But the key to the 10 of Pentacles is this. After you have everything that you could ever wish for, are you still gonna be happy? Is that gonna be enough for you? So this card kind of reminds me of like how actors and anybody who wants to become rich and famous, they finally get there, and then they realize that, wow, that's not everything there is in the world. They're still not happy. So what would you do after you get everything that you could ever ask for? Are you still not going to be happy? Are you going to enjoy it and, help others get to the place that you are as well? And my computer made a little ding. I don't know if you guys heard that, but the 10 of Pentacles. And the Pentacles are all of the material stuff. And the cool thing about this 10 of Pentacles is, if you see this tree of life here, same. You went through the whole ride. What are you going to do when you get off the roller coaster? Ten of Pentacles. We find the Fool with her family at what is now her estate. She has built this little kingdom for herself and her loved ones. She feels content and safe, knowing that her hard work and sacrifice had been worth it. The walls are sturdy and will last generations. Her resources are now focused on supporting her family. She wishes her child never to go through the same harsh times she has. Consider the long-term impact of your actions, professionally, creatively, and personally. What do you want your legacy to be? What are your values, and how do you bring them out into the world? What do you want to be remembered for? We will live on in those memories in the memories of those that come after, and the world that remains. Some nice words, but since I can't, the ding keeps dinging in my head. So after you have, and I just looked at the timer and it said 444. So I'm gonna say that. Okay, I'm gonna say that the focus is, after you do have everything that all of these, After you have all of these, what are you gonna do next? What's next? And the Hangman popped up, and it is a major arcana. So it sounds like this Hangman is gonna take you somewhere else. The best thing that you can do is chill and watch the universe take you someplace new. And you can struggle, or you can be like this Hangman who, after he sees that he's tied up upside down, he notices that the best thing he can do is to relax. Not to fight, not to struggle, but to relax and chill. This makes a tea. I just saw tea here. Tea. Like drinking tea, spilling the tea. I just turned around and saw Pikachu winking at me. So there's something about a tea. There's something about you chilling. Major Arcana number 12. To me, this Hangman is like the Jesus card. Like if I went through what he went, I would have been livid. I would not have been as chill as he was. I would not have said, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. I would have been livid. I would have been fighting back. I would have been struggling. I started saying, what are we charging towards? Alright, I'm gonna see what this book has to say about the Hangman. Surrender, sacrifice, inactivity, waiting, acceptance. The Hanged Man finds himself upside down on a cross, apparently unconcerned about his seemingly precarious state. At first he struggled, but he quickly learned that this would just deplete his energy, so he let himself relax. With this new perspective, all the cares he had the day before seemed trivial. He also knows that this is a sacrifice he needs to make in order to achieve his goal. Okay, I think I make sense. So, yeah, you clearly have everything that you've ever wanted. So why are you still struggling? Why are you still, depleting your energy with tea? Why are you still not happy that you have everything that you have, Gemini? Although you have clear career goals, you realize you must take 2 steps backward to correct your course. What are you sacrificing? How does seeing the bigger picture shift your viewpoint of what you are giving up? The Hanged Man also represents the wisdom to know that when the time is right for something to happen, it will. What are you giving up? Well, what you should give up is all of this struggling, all of this fighting. Like, for what? You already have everything you could ever ask for. It's like all of these rich billionaires. You're already a rich billionaire. Why do you keep wanting to take from people? Stop. Just chill and relax and have a good time with what you already made. Interesting. Here's an X, here's another X, and then there's a 2. So there's 2 X's. And see how all of these pentacles are yellow. And this is also a yellow circle. So sure, of course, having all of these things is awesome. But the most important pentacle of all is you and your state of mind. The way you feel, the way you react to things. If you can be like this Hangman, then this is the 10 of Pentacles that anybody could ever ask for. That anybody could ever need. But if you are hanging like this hangman, but you are struggling and fighting and trying to get out of the whatever is going on, then these 10 pentacles aren't gonna do you any good. Indolence. Yeah, okay. Alright, now this is making sense. So yeah, this is gonna be focused, and I just saw 1, 2, 3. So it's gonna be focused on why are you still struggling? Why are you still wanting to hear about tea from other people? You know, gossiping. Why? You have everything you could ever want. What is the point of taking from people? 8 of Cups, indolence. And this is from this beautiful book. Saturn in Pisces, Lord of abandoned success. Interesting. See, there's success here, but if you relax. I'm starting to feel how like a volcano, you know, about to burst. Lord of abandoned success. You already have everything you could ever ask for, so why are you abandoning it and focusing on struggling and things that aren't of, you know, good feelings, good vibrations, good chillings. And the cups are of the emotion. The cups are about change. The cups are about a deep sense of community and love that holds together through anything. Right? This is literally the 10 of Pentacles. Perfect. So why is there still bad feelings? And Crowley didn't have much nice to say about the 8 of Cups. In fact, he called it the German measles of Christian mysticism and the very apex of unpleasantness. See how we started with everything you could ever ask for, but we're rolling in unpleasantness? Truce. Oof. Okay. Called truce with these horrible feelings, with this unpleasantness. The 4 of Swords. Swords is of the mental, of the mind, of the stories that we make up in our minds, you know. So like, I love Greek mythology and stuff, all of those stories. Yeah, they're all stories, but they are trying to describe things. They are trying to teach. And they are put into stories because that is the best. That is how our mind best understands things, is through story. And that's why everything that happens in our life, we make a story, you know, about it, because it helps us understand. But sometimes our stories aren't very real, or are a lot more unpleasant than the reality. So this is your mind wanting truce. Your mind wanting truce with your emotions. You know, because if the emotions are unpleasant, then the mind is going to start telling unpleasant stories. If the mind is telling unpleasant stories, then the emotions are also going to be unpleasant. They feed off of each other. And this is saying that your mind wants some truce. The 4 of Swords. I think I'll read a little bit about the 4 of Swords. And I feel like I did the water signs yesterday, and those were some long readings. I haven't done those long readings And even the last one, I was like, all right, I'm not gonna make this one this long. I'm gonna try to make it shorter. You know, the first two, I was just chilling, going with the flow, and they just ended up being like longer. And then the Scorpion, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it on purpose that it's not gonna be as long as the first two. And guess what? It ended up being as long as the first two. But this one, I'm definitely rushing a lot faster than the ones yesterday. Ooh, which is interesting because at the beginning we were talking about the Chariot, about rushing through, and I am also kind of rushing through. Jupiter in Libra is what this Four of Swords is about. Truce. The Four of Swords is perhaps the most beautiful of the small card swords. Harris executes a textbook use of the color scales and offers us a portrait of balance and order. And so I felt like saying too, so I was saying that these feed off of each other. Right, so like I already said that, but apparently I had to say it again. The reality is this Ten of Pentacles. You have everything you ever want. So you have everything that's literally pushing you towards pleasantness, but your emotions are not there. Your mind is feeding off of these unpleasant emotions when, I mean, there's no reason for them to be there. So you really gotta embody this Hanged Man. Yeah, interesting. If I have to, I might have to repeat that a couple more times apparently. So Chesed is the sphere of Jupiter. Chesed is the fourth sphere and serves as a gracious but authoritative host to Jupiter in Libra. Equilibrium and justice are definitely key words for this card, but Crowley tells us that it also brings with it the establishment of dogma and the law concerning it. Swords are weapons, and weapons discharge their design by virtue of the disciplines of war, not of peace. A kind of truce the Four of Swords monitors is a peace enforced by the threat of violence, and as such will be short-lived. The Four of Swords are arranged as a St. Andrew's cross, suggesting to Crowley fixation and rigidity. Their points meet at the center of a large rose of 49 petals that Crowley tells us represents social harmony. It is the concord of conformity and compromise, however, that characterizes a culture that would rather blindly surrender to authority than to face the challenges of liberty. And I'm going to keep brushing through this because I feel like it. Ten of Cups. Okay, see, this is what we're looking for. Look at that. 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. Wow. We have everything we could ever ask for, and we have all of the emotions. All of the best emotions as well. Harmony. Right? This is what this is asking from both of these. So OSHO Zen Tarot, great deck. 10 of Cups. The experience of resting. Here's the Hanged Man again. The experience of resting in the heart and meditation is not something that can be grasped or forced. See, and this is the truce, huh? See, when there's this type of truce, there is no harmony still. Because this truce is only short-lived, like the book said. It's only going to be for a little bit because those swords are going to keep fighting. So the experience of resting in the heart and meditation is not something that can be grasped or forced. It comes naturally as we grow more and more in tune with the rhythms of our own inner silences. The figure on this card reflects the sweetness and delicacy of this experience. The dolphins that emerge from the heart and make an arc towards the third eye reflect the playfulness and intelligence. See, emotions and intelligence. that comes when we are able to connect with the heart and move into the world from there. Let yourself be softer and more receptive now, because an inexpressible joy is waiting for you just around the corner. Nobody else can point it out to you, and when you find it, you won't be able to find the words to express it to others, but it's there, deep within your heart, ripe and ready to be discovered. And it's outside as well. It's not even inside, just it's all over. So listen to your heart. Move according to your heart, whatsoever the stake. A condition of complete simplicity costing not less than everything. To be simple is arduous, because to be simple costs everything that you have. You have to lose all to be simple. That's why people have chosen to be complex, and they have forgotten how to be simple. But only a simple heart throbs with God, hand in hand. Only a simple heart sings with God in deep harmony. To reach to that point, you will have to find your heart, your own throb, your own beat. And it's as simple as recognizing that you are exactly where you've always wanted to be. Yeah, be aware that you are literally exactly where you always wanted to be. No more fighting. And this is a major arcana too. So life is going to keep putting you in experiences that are going to force you to see that, or for you, try to get you to realize that, hey, we have everything that we've ever wanted. So let's be pleasant. Let's start having a good time. Number 7 of the major arcana, awareness. The veil of illusion or Maya that has been keeping you from perceiving reality as it is starting to burn away. The fire is not the heated fire of passion, but the cool flame of awareness. As it burns the veil, the face of a very delicate and childlike Buddha becomes visible. The awareness that is growing in you now is not the result of any conscious doing, nor do you need to struggle. No, see, you don't need to struggle. That's literally what the Hangman is all about. Nor do you need to struggle to make something happen. Any sense you might have had that you've been groping in the dark is dissolving now, or will be dissolving soon. Let yourself settle, and remember that deep inside you are just a witness, eternally silent, aware, and unchanged. A channel is now opening from the circumference of activity to that center of witnessing. It will help you to become detached, and a new awareness will lift the veil from your eyes. Yeah, I feel like this is a very straightforward reading. So let's get some last advice from the Office Oracle deck. This one wants to come out, and that one wants to come out, and this one. And this reading is shorter than yesterday's. Love, yeah, this 10 of Pentacles, this is everything we could ever want. So why are we still fighting? If you already have everything you've ever wanted. Love. Love is here. Be aware of it. What a beautiful proposal that this was. What a beautiful couple. What a beautiful family. What a beautiful moment. Everything about this scene is beautiful. This is what love is, beautiful. Love is what makes it all worth it in the end. All the pain, all the tears, all the struggle. Yeah, all the struggle. And it landed right on top of this Hangman. All the darkness. It's also worth it when you find love. And I accidentally said found, because you have already found it. But we are still struggling for some reason. Yep. So if it's very straightforward and you already have it, then what are you waiting for? It is now or never. These are moments where we can affect change. Tick. For a few seconds, every decade, we exist. Tuck. These are those seconds. Tick. Storm the castle. Tuck. Come on. It's now or never. What say you? What say you, Gemini? Okay. 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 This should help a little bit. Nature. If you look very closely, there are two little people down there that are very small compared to this nature. And we are so small. Look at how small Michael and Dwight are. Sometimes we feel so big, and everything we do feels so big, yet we are so small. There is so much more than our small little world. Explore it. Go out. Yeah, there's so much more than the story that you keep telling yourself. There's many more ways of seeing what is going on. So go out to nature, look around, and remember how small you are. Feel your surroundings. Feel your small self be a part of such a bigger whole. Just a tiny little being in this massive, beautiful place. What say you, Gemini? It's now or never.